their whole team on low boost, they're able to get the passes out and they're able to clear the ball back down to the side. So Kansas really has to bring the aggression, try to get Rochester on the back foot. And it looks like Rochester is joining the match now, so we have both teams. We should be able to start soon as long as everything on the stream side is going. We got the go, go, go. So we are jumping straight into game number 2 with a 1-0 series lead to Rochester.
And we've got Rochester in the blue, Kansas in the orange here as we start up game number 2. Knight's going to win this kickoff. Sky's going to slow it down. Can't get around Spade, though. Luca with the shot, and that's going to be an opening goal for Rochester 5 seconds into game number 2.
That is definitely not how you wanted to start out if you were Kansas, but an amazing 50 from Skies. He had no boost, being able to slow it down to get a 50 that goes right out into the middle, and Luca was there and ready to put it away. We go back to the kickoff only 5 seconds later, with the ball going in favor of Rochester. Luca misses the initial touch, but he still has his flip as he flips it below right to Chura. Chura's going to take it over Knight's head. He's going to try to get it into the mid, but it's stopped by Skies. Skies is going to go high. He's going to get demoed as Sauce has a little bit of space. Tries to take it back down to the ground. 50 by Knight. He somehow still gets another touch, and he was still in the air trying to get the 3rd touch. As Skies tries to clear the zone, it is met by Spade. Spade and Luca both a double commit coming from the side of Kansas, but there's nobody back, and Spade is able to put it into the back of the net. I am very curious as to where that 3rd Rochester player was.
He got bumped all the way. Skies got bumped on the play, on the attempted breakout play, all the way to the orange goal. And Rochester was not able to get back in time. I believe Luca was last man back, went up for the ball at midfield and was beaten to it, so left that net open there for Kansas. Spade looking for a touchdown. It is going to go down, but 2 straight down, and Luca's able to clear it away from the box for the time being. Double commit here from Rochester. Skies is not going to be able to get the 2nd touch here as Spade looks for a shot. Luca's going to control. Knight looking for a bump there, but Chura is up in the air early enough to get a goal, or to get the save.
Clear all the way over to Spade. Spade's going to send it up his sidewall. Luca is already up for it. Sauce jumps, but he misses, giving Knight an opportunity to shot over his hard touch. Luca's coming in for the touch, but he is dunked by Chura, going all the way back to the Rochester side. A miss from Skies gives opportunity. Sauce with the fake on the first one, but he cannot get past the second one. Looks like this Rochester is getting slightly low on boost. However, they have some spaces. Knight tries to get it out, but Sauce with the instant challenge in the mid gets their corner boost as well. Looks like he's looking for some bumps as Chura puts it to the ceiling. Missed by Luca. Chura sends it off the backboard. However, there's no 3rd for Kansas to get it as Knight pitches it all the way down the field.
That's going to be an awkward touch there from Spade. He will be the first to it, though. Trying to go around Skies. Skies did have to pre-flip to get around the ball and get a touch. Lucas bumped off of the ball in the corner. Skies to the ceiling. Knight won't be able to get the touch on that as Spade gets it around to the sidewall. Sauce collects. Double demo there as Skies and Chura take each other out. Knight will take the ball from Sauce. Knight looking midfield, but it will be Spade with the clearance. Luca's up, so is Sauce, but Luca's going to win the race to that ball. Sauce off the backboard and off the post. That would have been an insane redirect.
But it looks like it's taken all the way back into a wide open net for Rochester. What went from almost an insane shot coming out of Kansas to then a wide open net as they sent all 3 trying to score there, which with 2 minutes and 41 seconds left in the game, interesting time to send everything you got. But they're still by no means out of this game. However, we are already at the score of our last game, and we're not even halfway done. As there's an opportunity, Knight is looking for the demo as the ball slowly bounces towards the net. Skies keeps it in the corner, dunks Sauce. Spade passes it out to Sauce, but I don't think he has any boost left, so Luke is able to come and collect and keep it in. A demo on the backboard to try to give some space as Knight is going to take it to the Sky. There's no one up from Kansas yet as they get the clear out, but right to Sky, right back into Sauce with a very nice dunk. As Sky dives back, Spade is looking for someone. No, he's looking for the shot himself. At first I thought it was a pass, but he just took it all the way home as no one from Rochester was ready for a shot.
Yeah, it looked like Knight and Luca got tangled up with each other there on the front post, and neither of them were ready to contest that quick shot off the backboard there from Spade. We are all knotted at 2 apiece here in game number 2. Rochester in the blue, Kansas in the orange. Churro gonna 50 with Knight. Sauce is gonna get cleanup and all the way to the Rochester corner, wins another 50. That's gonna float towards the middle. Spade off the backboard, and Luca's gonna be the first one there to get the clearance for Rochester. Off the wall, Knight had to make a save there on that pinball shot there. Sky's gonna get demoed there, and it will be Spade going the other way.
Knight gets a clean beat, going to look to beat the second, but Sauce was already up and ready for it. Spade tempted to get a redirect, but he misses the touch. Sure is going to send the 50 at Luca. Luca now has a little bit of space in the midfield as Sauce challenges. He goes over the head, looks for the 50. Good 50 by Spade to get that out of harm's way. Skies collects in the midfield, sending it back mid. Knight with a quick shot. What a save by Sauce as that looked to be going far down. Sauce was still boost on the back wall, trying to get this out of the zone as he's able to. However, he's bumped out of the way by Luca, trying to give Knight a little bit more space, but again, instantly challenged by Chura, keeping it back in this blue side. But Skies, as I say that they were going to get out, it's back in this blue side. Kansas is really pushing up their pressure right now, and I think it's going to lead to a goal within the next 50 seconds.
Knight's gonna wave dash, gonna get the demo and the 50. Will be Sky's first to this, contrived around Sauce, actually under Sauce. Luca with the shots, but Sauce does get the save. Spade is 50'd there at the top of his own box. Sky's waiting, gonna pop it to the sidewall, gonna go up high, looking for the flip reset. He does get it, can't do much with it, and that will float harmlessly to Churro, who gets the clear. Knight with a quick shot off the sidewall, double commit there, but Spade gets the save. Luca to the corner. Luca's looking to take his time, looking for an infield pass, gets a bump. That's gonna float there dangerously, and Sky's is able to get it around the post and give Rochester their 3rd lead of game number 2.
That was just a very interesting offensive attack from Rochester. They were just getting some unpredictable touches that Kansas wasn't ready for, mixed with some bumps, and that gave a somewhat open net to even 1-goal lead with 18 seconds left. However, we have seen larger leads lost in less amount of time. However, Skies with a quick shot, a demo coming in as well. Sauce is going to try to take it back into the blue side with 7 seconds left. They're going to send everything that they can at this. Fake from Sauce, looking for Chura. It's still up in the air, dangerously in front of the net. And it is a 0-second goal coming out of Spade as the ball just floated in front of the net after multiple people from Rochester committed on the first 50.
Yeah, I do just want to point out that Luca was an absolute menace for the last 30 seconds of regulation. Didn't pay off getting the win, but we are into overtime. Skies with the demo on Chura. Will be Luca taking his time awkwardly on the sidewall. Will be a miscommunication there from Skies and Luca as they both went for that ball. Spade off the ceiling. Will be Knight taking over at midfield. Off the ceiling, looking for the flip reset. He's got it. Can he find the ball? He can't get the next touch. Spade over one, gets the 50 win around Knight, I believe, and it will be Churro looking for a shot. Churro scores!
And Kansas finally capitalized on their late game heroics with back-to-back games scoring in the very last second. And there was a very good 50 from Sauce to get that off the ceiling down to Chura, and the goalie from Rochester that decided to play the shot. But against a team like this, that is not a place that you want to be, as they have the whole net to shoot and they can hit every portion of it.
Absolutely. That was a fantastic game number 2. Kansas Blue hasn't led in regulation through 2 games of Rocket League. Rochester has either been up a goal or tied. Kansas able to get the game winner there with just only 26 seconds into game number 2's overtime.
If only we could see the Kansas that we see in the clutch time throughout the whole game. And this could be a slightly different series, but it is very evenly matched. And we are going into game 3 at 1-1, which for 2 rosters at this skill level is expected. So it's really going to determine on who can pull out the nitty gritty type of plays, because with both teams being so mechanical, it's the small things at this level that matter.
Absolutely. I do want to point out that Spade had a hat trick there for Kansas, and then Rochester, the Scoring was split evenly with all three players tallying a goal there in game number 2. As we get into game number 3 here, it looks like we have a score update. Wichita State JV has beat Michigan Maize 3-1 here in round number 2 in another series happening in the Swiss stage.
Well, that is not a result that I was expecting. Michigan Maize, they brought this Kansas Blue team all the way to game 5 from the Wichita State JV team. That is a very good play out of them. But back to this game, as Sauce takes it down, Luca with the 50. Knight beats the last man. It's a 2v1. Luca's going to go for the demo, but instead he blocks his own teammate's shot as all 3 players from Rochester commit, so they're going to have to race back. Sauce has the boost necessary, tries to go over the top, off the backboard, threatening shot, a diving save out of Skies to keep that out to the net, but Kansas will not turn away. But Luca gets the clear all the way out, trying to give his team some time. Goes off of the ceiling for the 50. Miss very close to the net. All 4 players commit to the ball, with the ball going off the backboard and Knight taking it down the field.
Nice, not able to find the bump there on Sauce, who was the last man back. Luca looking in field to Skies. Spade is the first to it and gets it clear. Rochester swarming now. Knight into the midfield for Skies. Can't connect. Luca to the corner. Skies lingering. Sauce only as far as Knight, who sends it to the backboard, and it is going to be saved away by Chura. Luca with a shot off the backboard as well, and Luca demoing, just being a menace there in the middle. Pass to Knight. Knight hits the post, and Rochester is not able to capitalize on that demo from Luca on the last man back.
That is definitely an opportunity that they are going to want back later in this game. That was a very good demo to clear up space, and a shot that I definitely could have been put on target. With this, though, Sauce is going to try to make them pay for that, air dribbling it all the way down. He meets Luca on the backboard. Knight gets it clear to the wall. However, he gets spun out. Chura sends it off the ceiling. The 50 between Skies is lost. Spade tries to center it, but he misses the ball. Rochester seems to be in a slightly awkward position right now, as they're really trying to get it out of their end. Skies with the clear to get it past the midfield, but Spade is going to send it right back. A demo, though, should alleviate some pressure. However, the other 2 players on Kansas are not leaving alone. Luca gets it clear all the way downfield, causing Chura to have to go up to get it. Another demo coming out from Rochester. This is very difficult for this Kansas team to be able to score on these counterattacks if they don't have all 3 of their players on the field. A team, almost team pinch, putting a threatening ball on net. Skies is already up mid, but to nobody, and Kansas is able to get the clear downfield.
Chura going to try and take a shot, going to be saved away by Luca. Again, we've got Rochester in the blue, Kansas in the orange, and we are tied 1 game apiece here in this best of 5 series. It will be Knight taking over off the sidewall to himself. It will be turned away, though. Sauce collects on his own backboard, only as far as Luca, who goes underneath one, goes up and gets bumped off the ball there, not able to get over the second. Chura's going to come in, able to get a double touch to Spade. Knight holding it in, though. Rochester starting to build some pressure and finally cleared away by Sauce. Spade's going to wait. That's going to be Sauce to the backboard. Luca's up. Luca's got the save on Chura's shot from the top of the box. Now it is Kansas's turn to hold the ball in. Awkward here. Skies will be the first to it off the ceiling. He's got a flip reset. Going to continue to move it forward. Knight to Luca. It's going to be a too far out in front, and Chura's going to be able to turn that away. Luca's going to continue out with a ceiling pinch. Spade with the save.
Although it goes right to Skies, who sends it off the top. It's going to go down. Hard read from the goalie, but the shot is missed. Another hard read, but an opportunity that they are going to want back, as we are still scoreless going into the last minute and 30 in the game. So there's a 50 by the ceiling. Sauce lands on the ball. Spade is up before Knight. Beats him off the wall, but Luke is ready for it. Luke is going to take it down to the ground through the mid. Good fake, but he does not have enough boost to get back to it, so Sauce is able to easily clear it. He's going to try to take it all the way to the net, and it almost works, as I think Chura was looking for some bumps. However, they let their net completely open, as Luke is able to roll one in.
Absolutely heartbreaker if you're a Kansas fan. Had an opportunity that is barely saved off the post to a full field goal there the other way. A minute to go here in game number 3. Rochester leads in the blue, Kansas in the orange. Luca going to the backboard, looking for the double. It's going to hit the backboard as well. Knight's shot is saved away by Spade, and Sauce clears away for Kansas. The danger is not over yet, though, as it will be Chura trying to go past Knight, not able to get it. Spades to the sidewall, and Luca gets a clear.
They're all the way back down to Sus, who has full boost, a very hard touch, which Luca can dunk down. Chura's in an awkward spot, but Knight pinches it too far over the center. It's going to give Spade some time to get it up. Skies is already in the air. 50 goes mid. Knight loses the 50 in the midfield, but it's back to Luca, who has a little bit of space. He's going to opt to dribble it. And he had an open shot, but it seems he just flipped past it. He might have been out of boost. He recenters it middle, though. Even though they're down by 1, this is exactly where it seems Kansas likes to play, as we're going to see right now if they can play the hero and come back in the last 5 seconds of this game.
Luca's going to Skies here. 1 second on the clock. That's going to be in, but saved away by Spades. Ball's still up. Knight's going to keep it up. That's floating towards the top of the box. Spade clears to Chura. Ball's still in the air. Skies with a shot. That's going to hit the ground. Spade will let it. He'll hold it up, but he'll be demoed away by Knight, and Rochester will take game number 3. They are 2-1 here in the series. And it looks like we might be having some more technical issues here as all the players have left the lobby.
I believe the Rochester side requested a new server. So I think we'll need to remake the lobby and get all the players back in. But that was, again, another very, very close game. But Kansas just did not have the heroics at the last second of this game like they had in the previous 2. So we have still yet to see them above in regulation of this series. So they're going to have to throw everything that they got, as this game is now match point. They lose the next one, they are gone. And they're going to have to try to start as strong as they end, because trying to come back from behind is not a fun task against this Rochester defense, as they are relentless, especially on their own goal lines. It's like we have one of the teams back. We are just waiting on one more, and then we will jump into game number 4.
Yeah, and the way that game ends, Kansas had a chance with a minute to go in the game. We talked about it already, but it's worth reiterating while we wait for the teams to get back in here. The shot is on target. Rochester has to delay to avoid a bump, barely able to get enough on the save to hit it off the post. And then all of a sudden, Rochester's running the other way, and they're able to score. And that was the only goal in game number 3.
Yeah, which that's another hard thing to recover from when you play such sound defense through the entire game, and then it's just one triple commit that happens just because you think that you see the light and you can get that one goal that they needed, but it ended up backfiring as it bounced off of the post and directly into their net, guided by Knight. I don't know why that sentence was such a tongue twister, but we are starting into game 4 with the kickoff going the way of Kansas. Sauce on the ball, he gets the reset, uses it low with the pass. What a pass from Sauce to give Chura the open net. He uses his reset and fakes it back to the ground and gets all 3 of the Rochester defenders in the process.
Absolutely. The first time we've seen Kansas score first, the first time we have seen them in the lead in regulation. They did take game number 2 in overtime. Sauce taking his time, going to try and get around 1. Luca will take the ball from him, wins the 50 against Chura as well, so Sauce is forced to go up in the midfield. Skies is going to win the race to this ball. It's going to go to the corner, Kansas's corner. Knight with a quick shot, that's off the post, demo, and Knight will let it roll in. Knight's able to just force this goal in with a demo and a 50. Absolute mechanics there.
Oh, that looks like a team 50 coming. Maybe a miscommunication, not knowing who was back, but between Chura and I believe it was Sauce, they 50'd themselves on the goal line. And then Knight almost let the ball roll in as kind of a taunt. He knew they weren't going to be able to get back, so he just wanted to watch that one go in as they equalized the game very early. So we are back to a tied game with 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
And this is kind of the inverse of what happened in game 2. Rochester opened the scoring only 5 seconds in, and then scored, and then Kansas came back 30 seconds later with the goal. And it was 8 seconds this game for Kansas opening up the scoring, and Rochester picked up a goal 30 seconds in as well. Will be Sauce looking for a shot there, not able to find the touch. Chura sends it to the backboard, depossessing Luca. Knight clears it, or sends it all the way down to the corner. He's going to chase it, looking for a center, but Spade will win the race to that ball.
So it looks like low boost from Kansas right now, so Rochester's going to quickly turn to try to keep the pressure on. Good 50 from Knight. Another good 50 from Knight, but all 3 players on Kansas are back. A very unfortunate touch from Spade gives Luca the opportunity. He pinches it off the backboard on the 50. Skies puts it up for Knight. Knight another 50. Sauce hits it down. Sure is hoping to get the clear. Luca is still on the ball as he can almost double tap it into the net as it hits the crossbar and goes right down. And I think that Kansas is very happy to get out of that situation without conceding.
Absolutely can't afford to go down again. As we've seen, it's very hard to break through this Rochester defense. Skies won't win the 50 against Sauce. Sauce gets a pinch. Not very hard, though, and it's held in here by Rochester. They're swarming, looking for a center. Here is Knight off the ceiling, actually going to go for it himself. Isn't able to find the touch to send it goalward. Skies going towards the center field. Going to go under one, but Churro will get the touch. And it is Spade headed the other way as we approach halftime here in game number 4. Rochester leading the series 2-1 in the blue, Kansas in the orange.
It seems like we've seen this story many times. Tied game going into the last few minutes of the game. However, if I were Rochester, I would not be wanting to go into the last minute of this game still tied, because as we've seen so far, the last minute of the game, that is what Kansas does best. As Knight tries to force the 50 in, but he can't. Sauce takes it out. He gets demoed as the 50 goes over the head. Sky's low boost gets the flip middle. Very good pass, but Sauce was ready for it. He's able to clear it all the way down. Knight sends it all the way back. Luca is up. He gets the redirect off the backboard. Can't get the double tap, though, as Sauce clears it over back to Skies, who stays on the ball himself. Can't get the 50 on Spade, though. Luca can, however, and Spade tries to stay with it, but he seems to be out of boost and has to go back. Sure, already up. Gets the 50 to Luca, who sends it off of the wall. 50 off the ceiling once again. Spade bangs it off the wall. No one was up yet. Sauce is going to try to control it. This is some dangerous pressure coming out of Rochester right now.
Skies last back is able to just deflect that into his corner. Not a dangerous shot coming in. Will lose the ball here to Sauce. Luca's on the backboard, and Rochester still in full control. Did we get an update? It does look like we got a couple updates here on scoreboards as these teams are looking for some possession. Columbia Navy takes the series over Oakland 3-2, and St. Clair Green beats St. Clair Orange 3-2, also in 5 games. Sauce to the sidewall looking for the redirect, can't get it on target as Skies wins the 50 and gets the clear as we get back into game number 4. Rochester looking to close this one out here as we enter the final minute of game 4.
They clear all the way down the field. It is left for Skies as he bangs it back off the wall. He's full boost to get back to it, but Sauce with the double tap off the ground. Luckily, Knight was there, and he was able to get an uncontested touch. A pass middle to Knight with a good shot on net, but Spade was ready for it. He tries to get it out of the zone, but Skies is ready for it. But Sure is already up to clear it onto the Rochester side. Luca gets a touch off his own backboard to Sauce. He's in a slightly awkward position, so he just puts it corner. Spade pinches it up. However, he does not have a teammate that was ready. Sauce still keeping the ball on this Rochester side, lightly taps it. There's team bumps going on in the corner as Rochester tries to recompose themselves, and the Skies gets the 50 to get the clear out of the zone.
10 seconds to go. Knight in the corner. Can't get it around Spade, though. Skies will collect. Also can't get it around Spades. Luca looking for a shot. Saved away by Sauce. Final seconds. 0 seconds here. That's on target. Knight can't reach it, and Kansas forces game 5.
This is not something that you can make up. Kansas is the best team right now with under 5 seconds remaining as they were able to get another 0-second goal in this series. They already got one, which was able to give them a win. They got another one off an amazing shot off the sidewall, and Rochester just was not back and ready for it, which, if I was Rochester and the clock goes under 10 seconds, I would be keeping somebody back, because this Kansas team cannot stop hitting their shots with under 5 seconds left. That is a crazy end to a very close game, and we are going to 5.
Champions Field, here we come. This match did not disappoint. Rochester only able to muster 1 goal there in game 4. That's the second straight game that Kansas has held Rochester to 1 goal. Kansas in the orange, Rochester in the blue. And Rochester needs to find some offense here, Sharp, as we go into game number 5.
100%. I mean, normally we point out the caster curses, but this time I warned Rochester, if they kept this at a tie game going into the last 5 seconds, they're in a dangerous position against this Kansas team. So we are going into game 5. I know Rochester is definitely kicking themselves for allowing 2 0-second goals throughout this series. So I'm quite confident that they are going to throw everything that they have at this Kansas team. But as we've seen in this series, even when losing, Kansas is never out of the game until the clock physically hits 0.
Luka's going to send that down. Chura's going to clear it away. Skies to the midfield. Can't get it around Sauce, though, so Sauce collects. Going to get it around Knight. Luka to the sidewall. No boost, and he's able to just get a touch here. Spade looking for a shot. That's high, and Knight also had it taken care of over one as well. Going to the midfield. Limited boost to work with. Going to try and go underneath. Will take the 50 against Sauce, but Sauce wins that, and it will be Skies on the back line just holding the line for Rochester.
It's a free ball in the middle as all the Rochester players seem to be going back for boost. Spade gets the beat overnight. Skies gets a nice touch to get it out, allowing Luka to get a touch to the side around Sauce. Skies now has boost. A slight, I was going to say mistouch, but he seems to know exactly what he's doing on the ceiling up there. Knight waiting for the touch, gets the hit back into the orange side. Again, Luka waiting on the wall. Rochester is just playing these walls, waiting for these clears. So Sauce says, I'm going to take it middle instead, but it gets 50'd into the corner. Knight is already up for it, clears it high, tries not much boost. There's only one player from Kansas back, and he keeps it in the zone. Knight gonna try to chip it over, but he loses his life for it. Luka just puts it up, hoping his teammate can get to it, but Chura beats him to it. Spade had a potential opportunity, but he's beat to the ball, and Sauce takes it high. Another demo to give some more space. Sauce very nearly puts that shot on target, but instead Rochester's gonna go on the counter.
Gonna go to the sidewall here. Sauce gonna get a clear. Luka collects at midfield, off the sidewall to himself, gets the flip reset, can't find the shot. Gonna center it here to Skies, though. Skies wins the 50, and it's in the back of the net. Rochester up 1-0 here in game 5, 3 minutes to go.
That was an interesting patience coming out of the Kansas defense there to not challenge that early. As we've seen throughout this whole series, this Rochester team knows how to 50, and if there's ever a 50 on the goal line, that is not a place you want to be against Rochester, as they put another 50 goal. But Sauce takes it up, it is instantly challenged, although a double commit, leaving the net. Saw another double commit coming out of Rochester. Luckily the ball bounces out of harm's way. Luke is able to collect some boost. Knight has a little bit of space on the wall, he pops it high, met instantly by Sauce, who's going to keep going with his ball, gets the reset over the top. Knight's able to get it to the side and get the 50, however he loses the 50, but not Luka. Hits it right to Spade, however, leaving Skies back alone. Skies misses the touch, but Kansas wasn't ready for that, so they didn't have any players in shooting position. That is definitely not something that Kansas was expecting.
Awkward touch there from Skies. He just picked up a full boost. I think he was trying to control it, and it was a hard rebound all the way to the other side of the pitch. Knight to the backboard, looking for the double. That's going to hit the crossbar. No follow-up so far from Rochester. Skies collects it in the corner, looking for Luka. That's going to be an awkward 50. It will be Knight actually taking a slow shot. Sauce dives from his own backboard to get the save and gets the clear. Luka in trouble here. He lets it go, and Spade's able to tap it into the open net.
I need to watch this back to see what, it was a very good 50 from Sauce, and then Luka, he half-flipped and then ran out of boost. I don't think he was expecting the 50 to come that cleanly going towards his end from Sauce. But we are tied now 1-1, which again is not where Rochester would like to be given his previous history, but there's 2 minutes and 15 seconds to change that. With Knight getting the clean beat with just one back, he opts to go to the side. He dribbles it right around the goalie and puts it right into the back of the net, making it look meaningless.
And Rochester might have heard you there. They didn't want to leave this a tie game for long, as Knight unassisted is able to net the goal here. Rochester in the blue, Kansas in the orange. Game 5 here. Winner advances to the 2-0 side of the Swiss stage, while the loser will go to the 1-1 side. Full field shot there, tamed by Skies. Off the ceiling is Sauce, and he's going to knot us back up at 2.
What a shot in I don't think we've had enough JTV puns in this casting yet. So Sauce, he sauced them up there with that pre-jump to get the ball off of the top, right into the net. Nobody on Rochester was prepared for that shot as it just cleanly goes in. And we are tied back once again as the 50 on the kickoff goes to Sauce. He tries to get another dunk on Knight, but Knight hits it to the side. Knight gets it over the one more, so there's just one back being Spade. However, Spade gets a free touch to the other side, met by Skies, however. Sauce with the touch over, looking for the 50. Luke is able to put it right under. Nobody back from Kansas, but he's able to dive at the ball to get it out. Knight trying to play it low again, dove at by Spade. Skies has a shot as Knight is looking for some bumps, but Chura saves the day off of the backboard.
Luca controls it. Is going to lose the 50 here to Sauce. This is on target. Skies with the touch. Knight's going to go around, but Sauce has got it red. He's got it into the corner, and he's not able to get a touch there. Luca around Sauce all the way down. Spade's last man back. He's going to miss the touch. Knight's going to get the demo, and this is an open net. Knight tucks it home. Rochester up 3-2, a minute to go.
That is a tragic, just by a pixel, miss from Spade. And then when you miss a ball like that, Knight is 100% going to capitalize on that. However, we are entering, within next 6 seconds, we are entering the Kansas prime time. So we're going to see if they can bring back some heroics and they can bring this game back with under a minute now remaining as the ball is very threateningly on the Rochester side. Another double commit. Sauce puts it off the top. It bounces off the crossbar and then the ground, and then it is squished out. That was an amazing opportunity that almost went to the way of Kansas, and they're going to have to regroup and try again.
I really thought Kansas had done it again, knocking us up at, or even with less than a minute to go. They weren't able to find it. Luca's going to find a shot. Sauce with the save off the backboard. He gets demoed for his trouble. And Skies holds it in for Rochester. Final 30 seconds. Chura's going to get it out. Spade only as far as Luca at midfield. And it's going to be Kansas retreating. Luca can't find a second touch there as it's cleared away by Sauce. Sauce has been everywhere here for Kansas in game 5. He's got a goal and an assist. Knight can't find the touch. Spade going to the backboard. Skies has got the touch. 6 seconds to go. Sauce with a shot. Top corner saved away by Knight.
What a save to stop the last second heroics from Kansas. Once again, we were a few pixels away from seeing another sub 5 seconds heroics coming from Kansas, but this time is when Knight puts his foot down. He said no, he pinches it off the crossbar, and we have Rochester winning the series in 5.